A line was crossed yesterday. A terrible line, a very bad line. Chuck Schumer incited violence against the United States Supreme Court. Remember, it was a Bernie Sanders supporter who tried to kill the entire Republican delegation last year? Remember that? 2 years ago now. Thank God Steve Scalise survived near life-threatening injuries. Well, yesterday, Chuck Schumer, in front of the Supreme Court, as they heard arguments on a Louisiana law that did not outlaw abortion but simply required admitting privileges at a local hospital, Chuck Schumer appeared on the steps of the court and gave these words, cut number 3.
Now we stand here today because behind me, inside the walls of this court, the Supreme Court is hearing arguments, as you know, for the first major abortion right cases since Justices Kavanaugh and Justices Gorsuch came to the bench. We know what's at stake. Over the last 3 years, women's reproductive rights have come under attack in a way we haven't seen in modern history. From Louisiana to Missouri to Texas, Republican legislatures are waging a war on women, all women. And they're taking away fundamental rights. I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price. You won't know what hit you if you go forward with these awful decisions. The bottom line is very simple. We will stand with the American people. We will stand with American women. We will tell President Trump and Senate Republicans who have stacked the court with right-wing ideologues that you're going to be gone in November and you will never be able to do what you're trying to do now, ever again. You hear that over there on the far right? You're gone in November.
What Chuck Schumer did was to incite violence against sitting Supreme Court justices. He was immediately condemned even by liberals like Lawrence Tribe, professor of law at Harvard. But they called it a mistake. It's far more grave than a mistake. It was a threat against individual judges who live with such threats daily. I know some of these judges and justices. I know what they live with in the mail. I know the nutters who attack them. What Schumer did was an attack on the judiciary. It's an incitement to violence. It was a debacle, a terrible day for the country. This is not my new position with me. By the way, do you remember that Senator Lott in 2002 was obliged to resign as Senate Republican leader after what NPR called 2 weeks of controversy over racially divisive remarks? He had been incoherent talking about Strom Thurmond. I don't even think there will be two weeks of controversy over the threat that Chuck Schumer made to 2 Supreme Court justices, but there should be. Chief Justice Roberts was very quick and issued this statement, quote, "Justices know that criticism comes with the territory, but threatening statements of this sort from the highest levels of the government are not only inappropriate, they are dangerous." He also added, all members of the court will continue to do their job without fear or favor from whatever quarter. Now, I got a record here. I defended Chief Justice Roberts against conservative critics when he upheld Obamacare. I defended Judge Curiel when I thought President Trump, then candidate Trump, attacked him inappropriately. I backed up the Chief Justice when he blew back against President Trump's condemnation of Obama judges. But Chuck Schumer went way beyond any of that stuff. He threatened him with death. That's what he did. You will reap the whirlwind. You will pay the price. Everybody knows what he meant. Shame, shame, shame on him and on every Democrat. Joe Biden should be out denouncing him today. Bernie Sanders should be out denouncing him today. The other big story of the day, of course, remains coronavirus. And the patient count worldwide is getting close to 100,000. China only has 139 new infections. But worldwide, there are 95,650. There have been 3,303 deaths. There have been 53,455 recoveries. Most people recover. State of California has declared an emergency. They got a cruise ship isolated off of San Francisco. Another person died in Washington State. It remains the case. Only one person, as James Lankford said on this show yesterday, has died under the age of 20 from coronavirus. It is not the killer that 1918, 1920 was. Wash your hands. It's not going to cripple the economy. We look ahead at the markets overseas. They're doing well, but futures in the United States not so great. Who knows what they'll be at the end of the day? I don't know. AndrewandTodd.com, though, 888-1172, the best mortgage lenders in America with Sierra Pacific Mortgage. They are looking at, I didn't believe it was possible, a 0.99% 10-year bond, which means interest rates are extraordinary. Go refinance your house today. Now, let me tell you about Caller Day. Annually, because I do own the Beltway, people listen to me driving in, all the legislators, their staff members, the lobbyists. Once a year, I like them to know who's listening to talk radio, not just on this show, but in every show. And so I zip through calls. I want your first name, the city you live in, how old are you, what do you do, are you a parent? If so, what ages are your kids? Why do you listen to talk radio generally, and why do you listen to the Hugh Hewitts Show? It educates them. And let's start in Minnesota. Ted. Ted, go ahead. Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Hugh.
Morning. Oh, Ted, your phone. Okay, try that again. How old are you, Ted? That doesn't work, Ted. Sorry, buddy. That one's got I don't know how to drop that call. Something's wrong with his phone. No, something's wrong with your phone, buddy. Warren in Tampa, Florida. What is...
Good morning, Hewitts. How you doing?
Good. You got to be quick, though.
I'm 52 years old. I have 2 kids in college. One's still in high school. The Revolutionary War. We're proud Americans. I used to love the Bill Bennett show, and I listened to it on the way into work. And when he retired, I was so depressed until you came on. Wow!
But why do you listen to talk radio?
I listen to talk radio because it's intelligent. It's clarity over agreement, and that's what Prager says all the time.
Yeah, he does. I told Dennis to say that. And so why do you listen to the Hugh Hewitts Show?
Because while you're wrong 50% of the time about the Cleveland Browns and all that stuff, you're an intelligent man, and you're very smart, and you provide clarity.
I'm never wrong about the Browns, but Warren, thank you from Louisville, buddy. Let's go to Chuck in, Warren was in Tampa. Chuck in Louisville, Kentucky. Chuck, how old are you?
58 years old. I've got 2 kids. I drive a truck. So I listen to you because I'm up so early in the morning out here, sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm up. I've already driven 100 miles.
You're a hard-working man.
Well, you're the one of the first ones on, and then at 9 o'clock you got another one, and at 12 o'clock you got Limbaugh. So I'm listening to you guys 12, 15 hours a day.
And why do you do that? Tell them
the reason. I'll tell you why, because honesty, man, it's straight up, unbiased honesty. You can't get honesty on the news. They don't. They're so biased, and you don't get truth. You don't learn anything.
So you believe us, even when I'm wrong. Like I was wrong. I was wrong about predicting Joe Biden would lose Super Tuesday. You still keep listening.
You said it right there, because when you do make a mistake, you apologize.
That's absolutely true. I do believe in honesty and transparency and telling you what I think. It's Caller Day on the Hugh Hewitts Show. 1-800-520-1234. Join in.